Hello everyone, this is Professora Sidebottom. In this video, we will talk about the nosotros commands in Spanish. First, let's start with some general information. The nosotros commands are used to give orders or suggestions to a group of people that includes yourself. Both affirmative and negative nosotros commands have the same form as the nosotros form of the present subjunctive. The exception is the verb ir in the affirmative command, which uses the indicative present form. This includes the form irse as well. In English, the nosotros commands are translated with let's for the affirmative or let's not or let us not for the negative. Here are some examples, first in the affirmative and then in negative. Hagamos la tarea. Let's do the homework. Practiquemos los verbos. Let's practice the verbs. Vamos al supermercado. Let's go to the supermarket. Vámonos. Let's go. Notice ir, vamos, irse, vámonos. Now in negative. No hagamos la tarea ahora mismo. Let's not do the homework right now. No practiquemos los verbos. Let's not practice the verbs. No vayamos al supermercado hoy. Let's not go to the supermarket today. No nos vayamos. Let's not go. Just as a reminder on how to form the subjunctive, we take the yo form of the indicative present. We remove the o from the end of the yo form of the verb, and then we add the opposite ending to the stem of the verb, and the final form is the subjunctive present, like nosotros hablemos, nosotros corramos, nosotros salgamos. Next, let's talk about verbs that inherit irregularities in the subjunctive and in the nosotros commands. Verbs with irregular yo in the indicative present will have the same irregularity in the subjunctive and nosotros commands. And here are a few examples. Tener, yo tengo in the indicative present, so we will have tengamos as a subjunctive for nosotros as well as nosotros command. Tengamos paciencia, let's be patient. Venir, yo vengo, vengamos, for subjunctive present for nosotros as well as nosotros command. Vengamos juntos, let's come together. Ofrecer, yo ofrezco, in indicative present, ofrezcamos. Ofrezcamos ayuda a los mayores, let's offer help to the elderly. Ver, yo veo, indicative present, veamos, in subjunctive for nosotros as well as nosotros command. Veamos esta película hoy. Let's see this movie today. Next, let's talk about the stem changing verbs. For the AR and ER verbs that stem change in the indicative present, the present subjunctive will show the same changes. However, the nosotros and vosotros forms do not stem change. And right now we are interested in the nosotros form. Here are some examples. Contar, contemos. Contemos la historia. Let's tell the story. Cerrar, cerremos. Cerremos la puerta. Let's close the door. Perder, perdamos. Perdamos peso juntos. Let's lose weight together. For the IR verbs, we'll have an additional change for nosotros and vosotros forms. E becomes I and O becomes you. Pedir, pidamos. Pidamos una ensalada. Let's order a salad. Sentir, sintamos. Sintámonos felices. Let's feel happy. Dormir, durmamos. Durmamos aquí esta noche. Let's sleep here tonight. Here are other verbs that inherit irregularities in the subjunctive. Pretty much if a verb is irregular in the yo form in indicative present, will be irregular, will inherit that irregularity in the subjunctive and in the nosotros commands. And I give you here some examples. Escoger, that goes to J. Escojamos. Escojamos un representante. Let's choose or elect a representative. Dirigir, again it goes to J. Dirijamos una película. Let's direct a movie. Distinguir, distingamos. Distingamos entre el bien y el mal. Let's tell the difference, or let's distinguish between good and bad. And then we have the cargar zar verbs, where car goes to que, gar goes to ge, and zar goes to se. Buscar, busquemos. Busquemos otro coche. Let's look for another car. Llegar, lleguemos. Lleguemos a tiempo. Let's arrive on time. Empezar, empecemos. Empecemos la conferencia ahora mismo. Let's start the lecture right now. Next, let's talk about the 5 verbs that are totally irregular in the present subjunctive, as well as the nosotros commands. Dar, demos. Estar, estemos. Ir, vayamos. But vayamos will go only for the negative command, no vayamos. For the affirmative command for ir would be vamos. Saber, sepamos. Ser, seamos. Here are some examples. Demos muchos regalos a los niños. Let's give lots of gifts to the children. No estemos tristes. Let's not be sad. Vamos, let's go. Or for irse, vámonos. No vayamos. Let's not go. Sepamos la verdad. Let's know the truth. Seamos amables con ellos. Let's be nice to them. Next, let's talk about the object pronouns and nosotros commands. In the affirmative commands, we add the indirect object pronoun, direct object pronoun, or reflexive pronoun at the end of the command attached. Here are some examples. Contémosle. Abramos la ventana, abrámosla. Hagamos la tarea, hagámosla. In affirmative commands with nos or se, we drop the final s of the verb. Digámosela. Levantémonos temprano. Vámonos. Pongámonosla. Lavémonosla. Démoselos. Please notice that when we have both the indirect and the direct object pronoun in the same command, first comes the indirect and then the direct object pronoun. Now let's talk about object pronouns in the negative nosotros commands. We add the indirect object pronoun, direct object pronoun, or reflexive pronoun in front of a nosotros negative command detached. Here are some examples. No le contemos, no la abramos, no la hagamos, no se la digamos, no nos levantemos, no se los demos, no nos vayamos. If we have the indirect object pronoun and direct object pronoun together in one statement, like in the example, no se la digamos, we will follow this formula, no plus indirect object pronoun plus direct object pronoun plus verb. In a nutshell, the nosotros commands are used to give orders or suggestions to a group of people that includes yourself. Both affirmative and negative nosotros commands have the same form as the nosotros form of the present subjunctive. In English, they are translated with let's for the affirmative or let's not for the negative commands. In affirmative commands, we add the indirect object pronoun, direct object pronoun, or reflexive pronoun at the end of the command, attached. When we have 2 pronouns together, the formula is command plus indirect object pronoun plus direct object pronoun. As in the example, prestémoselo. let's loan it to him. Sometimes the nosotros commands are formed just by using vamos a plus infinitive, like vamos a prestárselo, let's loan it to him. In negative commands, we add the indirect object pronoun, direct object pronoun, or reflexive pronoun in front of a nosotros command detached. No se lo prestemos, let's not loan it to him. For negative commands that contain two pronouns, the formula is no plus indirect object pronoun plus direct object pronoun plus command, as in the example, no se lo prestemos. Thank you for your attention. If you would like to see more Spanish grammar videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our name is College Spanish. Hasta la próxima.